from you, and just want to go through what happened, and then I can give you some advice on what can be done with your case.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't you just start by telling me, what took place, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, it was two different separate occasions.
Mm-hmm.
The first incident happened, I was on my way to Harris, is where I work at, where I used to work at the casino, and I was driving on the expressway on my way to work when a dog blue car was following me in the fast lane.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that, how cars drive real close to you to try to make you move over. That's what I was thinking that the car was doing, but at the time I wasn't able to move over right away. So when I did get it open, I moved over, and that car also moved behind me. So, it made me, wonder what was going on. So I moved into the far right lane, which that car did the same thing, and I slowed my car down to like 40 miles an hour, trying to get the car to come around me.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't. So he did this from like the beginning of the expressway to the very last exit. So I pulled all the way over to the shoulder of the bridge, and the car also pulled over to the shoulder of the bridge, and that's when he turned his flashing lights on. So from there, I got out the car trying to find out, what was going on. So the police officer, he was just saying that he thought I was an undercover cop, and from there he was saying that I was speeding. So, I was, asking him, could he show me a radar where I was speeding, because I wasn't speeding. So from there he was just saying that he can put me in jail for reckless driving for me pulling over to the side where I pulled over at. So I told him, just give me, the ticket, because I had to go to work, which, he wrote out the ticket, and I went to work. So maybe a month after that, I'm getting back on the expressway to go to my other job, because I was working two jobs at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw his car again. So I took my cell phone out and I started recording me driving, showing that I wasn't speeding. My windows were down, like it was nothing for him to pull me over again, because I just had a feeling it was going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I went to pass up the car, he started following me again. If I switched from lane to lane, he was doing the same thing. So as I was exiting off the freeway, he turned the siren lights on, and he said on the intercom thing for me to pull over at the Shell gas station, which I did. So the whole time that I'm, sitting in the car, I'm, recording everything that's going on. So as soon as he get out the car, he comes to the side of my car, and, he see me looking at the phone, because, you can only record, 2 minutes at a time. So I was making sure that the phone was still recording, which I never faced the phone to him or anything. So as he comes to the side of the car, he said something like, "Oh, you trying to record this?" and snatched my cell phone out of my hand. So, from there I went to ask him, why he took my cell phone. So he took I got out the car, so he took my cell phone, threw the cell phone, in his police car. And from there I kept asking him, why he took my cell phone. So he went to telling me that's when he went to calling back up and stuff, and then he was telling me that I was under arrest. So I was asking him what I was under arrest for, and he was like, show me your ID, and I was like, show you my ID for what? Asking him, why he was stopping me. So he took his taser out and, was telling me if I don't put my hands on the car that, he was going to taser me, and some other policemen wound up pulling up, and from there I was trying to explain to them, what was going on, and this was the second time, doing that to me, which none of them wasn't trying to hear anything that I had to say.
Let me ask you just a couple questions. I mean, I'm just really disturbed by what you're telling me. You're telling me that you were on your way to work.
Yes, both times.
And you were dressed appropriately for a work environment? I mean, you were just wearing regular clothes on your way to work?
Yes. When I work at Harris, I have to wear the full uniform with the vest, name tag, everything.
So you had the vest on that you would normally be wearing to work?
Right.
So I
had on my full uniform.
So it was clear to him that you weren't like going to buy drugs or sell drugs. You were actually on your way to work, and that's what you told him.
Yeah. He was able to clearly see that I had on a whole uniform.
Okay.
The first time.
Now, was it clear the second time that he stopped you were you driving the same car?
Yes.
So he knows your car from the first stop.
Right.
And he pulled you over again and then stopped you and would not tell you why he stopped you.
Right.
Okay. So now he's going to arrest you and he's threatening to taser you. What happened from there?
From there, was telling me to put my hands on the car. Like I said, police, other police units wound up coming out there, and I was trying to explain to them, what was going on. And like I said, none of them wanted to hear anything that I had to say, and I kept trying to tell them, explain to them that I recorded the whole thing on my cell phone. He went to telling them that I was trying to hit him with the cell phone, and that was the reason why he took my cell phone and stuff like that. So, I wanted to tell him that was his second time pulling me over. That he know me from the first time that he pulled me over, which he completely denied even pulling me over the first time. And I kept explaining to them that I had the ticket that he gave me the first time that he stopped me. So from there, he went to searching, my car and stuff, took my purse out, dumped everything all over the back of the car. And one of my coworkers wound up pulling up and, was seeing what was going on. So, she was asking me, if I needed her to call my mama, because my mama worked at Harris Casino also, which I was telling her, yeah. So from there, the other police was telling the arresting officer to, put me in the car and stuff like that, because I was trying to talk to the lady, the girl who worked with me.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I asked if the young lady could take my car and my purse and stuff, and for her to get my cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
which they wound up giving her my car, but he took the policeman that stopped me, he took my cell phone and my purse with him when he was bringing me, to jail or whatever. And so, when they brought me to the jailhouse, he was, going through my purse and stuff again, taking out all my credit cards, dumped all my stuff over the table.
What did he charge you with?
He wound up, he charged me with illegal intent, battery on a police officer, battery, something violence on a police officer, and resisting arrest. He said that I fought him and two other police officers, which that was not true at all.
Okay, let me just tell you something, ma'am, because do you have an attorney yet?
I do. Well, this is what's going on so far. When I got out of jail, because of course it was, I was scared to even drive my car.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 2 police stations because I went to jail on a Friday. I didn't get out till Saturday evening. I went to 2 police stations, which the police station was closed, so I wound up calling 911. Well, I called the state police, and I was telling them what was going on, which they were telling me that they would send a unit out to my house, for me to call them once I got home,
Mm-hmm.
which I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I called 911, and they were saying they was going to send a unit out, which a unit never came out.
Now hold on. You were calling the state police so that you could file a police report?
Right.
Against him?
Right.
Okay. And did they ever take that report from you?
No, his captain wound up calling me.
And did he take did he take a statement from you?
Well, what he was telling me to do was to come down there and make a statement with him. And, I told him the whole story, and he was asking me about my cell phone, which the police officer had never turned my cell phone in.
He never, hold it. He never turned it in?
He had never turned the cell phone in, no.
Okay.
He had took the cell phone with him, but the thing was, I think he took the cell phone with him thinking that he was going to be able to erase the stuff off the cell phone, but I had a lock on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't even get in it to erase it.
Let me just stop you where you are, ma'am. I need to talk with you further. Now, I'm recording your statement right now to me, but I am very upset about how you were treated, and I don't get this way about every single case that I get over the phone. but I think you really have been wrong. Let me just stop the recorder here because I have some other things I want to tell you.